On the 19th of December 2023, Armstrong Powerhouse Gu Studios released their Class 318 electric multiple unit for Train Simulator. At the time of writing this review, the pack cost £24.99. However, if you own the Class 317 Volume 2 pack, the pack will be discounted to £19.99. Please note that pricing and offers are subject to change at AP's discretion. Based off the Class 317, 21 3-car units were built between 1985 and 1986 by British Rail Engineering in York. They replaced the Class 101, 107, 120 and 126 diesel multiple units following electrification of the Ayrshire coastline. The 318 collects its power from the 25 kV AC overhead wires and has a maximum operational speed of 90 miles per hour. Today the trains can be seen operating various suburban services around Glasgow, and sometimes in multiple with Class 320s. When built originally, the trains had a corridor connection at the cab ends. Between 2005 and 2007, the connection was removed. A second refurbishment between 2013 and 2017 added new LED lights, corrosion repairs and an accessible toilet. At present, there are no plans for replacement, and the trains have since received a third overhaul. There are two variants of the external model, original and refurbished. Original variants have the cab end doors, traditional destination blinds and bulb headlights. Inside, the cab is very similar to that of a 317/2. The most notable change, however, is the inclusion of the NRN and Strathclyde manning agreement. The latter was introduced with driver-only operation, and essentially it's a more fancy-looking cab-secure radio unit. Its functions are identical to the CSRs, which have been featured in other train packs in the Armstrong Powerhouse catalogue. As mentioned earlier, refurbished variants lack the end corridor connection. They also feature LED headlights and an electronic destination screen. There are two refurbished cab variants available, one with NRN and SMA, the other with GSMR. Both variants feature a computer to operate the destination display. Destinations can be changed dynamically by the player in a scenario on all variants by pressing F7 or F8. The computer for the electronic display can also be used. Going over functionality, all cabs feature a cold and dark start, where you will need to build up air pressure before you can raise the pantograph and release the brakes. There is also a working master key, gear selector, AWS, TPWS, driver reminder appliance, traction and AWS interlock, functional internal cab and external head, marker and tail lights, working wipers, opening windows, two-tone horn, driver guard signal, and the ability to toggle between driver-only operation and guard operation of the doors. In terms of a passenger view, the seating maquette is livery dependent, and the tables are added on SPT variants. In addition to the tables, refurbished variants have a slightly different handle on the top of the seats and passenger information screens. Like the Class 317 packs, the 318 has animated saloon lighting, and the screens will also display the destination that has been set to the blind. There are 4 base liveries, and these are Strathclyde Transport, SPT, SPT Rail, and ScotRail. Sub-variants of the base liveries also feature vinyls of operators that have inherited the units over time. Driving-wise, the train has randomly generated acceleration and braking factors, so it will perform differently each time it is loaded into a scenario. Generally, I find that the 318 is slow to accelerate. The brakes are quite good at slowing the train down, and flicking between step 1 and step 2 will help to bring you to a smooth stop. The 318 also employs AP's wheel slip and wheel side script, so extra care will be needed when the rail conditions are damp. There's also functionality with neutral sections in the overhead by means of special scenario markers and the pantograph arcs and sparks. In terms of sounds, the majority have been reused from the 317 packs, most notably the horn and cab controls. The motors, however, have been recorded from the Class 318, which can be best heard from the passenger view internally and the bogie cam externally. The cab sounds quiet and isolated with the windows shut. When the windows are open, the sense of movement is increased with the sound of the wind rushing past. Overall, I feel that the sound design is very good, and up to AP's usual standards for the simulator. Scenario-wise, 6 are included. The first 4 are for the suburban Glasgow North West route. The separate Airdrie extension is also required for these scenarios to work. The final 2 are for the West Coast Mainline North, Carlisle to Glasgow. The activities carried out range from passenger services to empty stock movements. The scenarios are set at different times of day and weather, and are based off real workings. Overall, the 318 is pretty much a solid bog standard release from AP. I suppose the only suggestion for improvement is a tad more detailing of the interior in the external model. It's also worth noting that the 318 isn't fully compatible with the 320 that is included with the 321 pack. There is no visible coupling between the units, and when the 318 is paired with a 320, the unit that doesn't have the driver icon applied to it in a scenario editor can only be driven with a mouse. For the 318 to be fully compatible, the scripting of the 321 pack would need to be updated. Apart from that though, the 318 is still a welcome addition and is highly recommended if you are interested in playing and creating scenarios around suburban Glasgow. Thanks for watching this review. I hope that you have found it useful and informative. Please feel free to subscribe if you wish to follow me for more, press the like button and leave a comment. If you wish to support the channel further, you can tip me on Ko-fi or via Super Thanks on YouTube. Thanks for watching and take care.